Welcome to the Black and Gold Banneret podcast. Jeff Sharon here, along with Eric Lopez and Bryson Turner. And this is something that I personally and we collectively have been waiting. We couldn't wait to do this at some point, and finally we're finally making it happen. You can tell how actually nervous I am actually doing this. Joining us now is let's just call it like it is. Probably the greatest player in UCF history, arguably. And not just that, but one of the most inspirational people you're ever going to come across. Quarterback for UCF from 2016 through 2020, just finished his collegiate career at Florida State and will be participating in the Hula Bowl. His last opportunity to play on the field at the Bounce House will be at the Hula Bowl Saturday, January 15th. Tickets are available now, and make sure you get there because this is our opportunity to send off one of the greats to ever put on the black and gold, McKenzie Milton, joining us here on the Black and Gold Banneret podcast. KZ, what is up? Thank you so much for joining us.
What's going on, Jeff? Appreciate you guys having me, man.
I appreciate you taking time for us. I know it's a busy time for you right now. You got so much going on. I mean, you always have, right? Like but with the Hula Bowl coming up, with the stuff you're doing with Dreamfield, and you're also, I'm curious about, and we'll ask about this later. You're transitioning out from being a college player. I'm sure you're going to measure your options, but I want to start by asking you about the Hula Bowl, and you are doing actually a really cool thing where half the proceeds from the ticket sales are going to the family of the late Otis Anderson, who we all knew. And it's still as shocking to us as I'm sure it is to you that he's gone. It's pretty obvious, but give me your thought process and, when you decided to do that for the Hula Bowl and for his family.
Initially, I knew leading up to the Hula Bowl, I'd be in Orlando, and I just want to do something for Otis and his family, just to continue to honor him. I think it's easy to, when it's fresh, when something like that happens, to kind of rally around him, rally around his family. But as time goes on, I don't want his memory to just kind of go away. You know what I mean? To me, he needs to continue to live on through each and every one of us. And he had a huge impact on me, not just in football, but just as a person, man. Just always being positive, always happy, and he's just a great young man. And just gone too soon. But I know one day we'll see him again. And initially, I wanted to have a Hula Bowl after party, which we still are doing at Elixir Orlando, and I'll be signing autographs and probably charging $10 an autograph, but all those proceeds will be going to his mom, Dee Anderson. And I just feel like we need to be there for her. I know money can't change the situation, but to me, it's just more so about continuing to live on through us. And I was able to partner with the Hula Bowl and being able to make this happen for them as well. And to me, it's only right. Made me look good a lot of times on the field, so I think it's only right to honor him with me being able to step on that field one more time. And owe his family to me. And just tough situation, but to me, it just needs to continue to live on through all of us.
What do you remember? Tell me something about your relationship with Otis, like about him as a person that we as the media and the fans didn't see that you'll always remember about him.
He's just funny, man. He's a quirky dude. Kind of like a little brother to me. He came in the spring after my freshman year, and we knew he'd have an immediate impact, and he sure did on the field, but just in the locker room, just as a person, as a friend, family, words really can't express how he was and how he is. You just had to be around him because he was so infectious and how he is. And I smile just thinking about him. You know what I mean? That's the kind of impact he had on me.
Do you have a favorite play with him? I mean, we had Adam Amin on a couple of years ago on the show, and he brought up that screenplay that you hit him up against South Florida in 2017 to go up look at the time we thought was going to put the game away. That's a memorable play. He's had so many memorable plays. Do you have one with him? Is that one that stands out?
Yeah, that the screen is up there for sure. We talk about that all the time. Told him before the play, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be quick. I knew they're bringing a boundary pressure. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be quick, and he always managed to make the plays. And I think we just kind of had a level of comfortability back there with each other. And even when he was in the slot, making big plays, sparking us at times, and whether it's punt returns against Pitt, screens against Auburn, he made a lot of big plays, man.
Yeah.
And we don't win all those games without Otis Anderson. That's for sure.
One play that has really been brought up with Otis after Otis's passing was the time where he flashed the deuce as he ran into the end zone for the touchdown. And of course, that was a tribute that Ryan O'Keefe gave to the late running back when he ran for a touchdown during the Gasparilla Bowl. Were you watching that game, and what were you thinking when you noticed that?
I was watching the game. I was in the stands, and I saw O'Keefe throw it up, and man, just divine intervention, and just the fact that they were both the same distance, and those are just two legendary moments in UCF history. And yeah, like Ryan O'Keefe is a great player now, and he's gonna do great things. But to me, that's just divine intervention, and just shows that O's still with us.
You know what I remember about this whole thing is I think it's really emphasized how tight of and I know people think of this as like a cliche, but I think it's really emphasized how tight the UCF football community is. It really is like a family. And I really think that in due respect to all the players and coaches before, but I think that you were so instrumental in creating that. Obviously Ohana in the Hawaiian native language means family, and yeah, you as a quarterback, take me back to when you first came here, and as a freshman under Scott Frost, and learning how to be a college quarterback and really learning the game at the collegiate level. How did you approach like building the connections with your teammates that you became so famous for?
I just think just be who you are. You know what I mean? And I was born and raised in Hawaii, and everything there was just kind of tight knit. Everybody just kind of took care of each other, and that's just kind of how I was raised. I'm considered what's a quote unquote haole back home, which is considered an outsider. But I never felt like that back home, and people back home, Polynesians, Samoans, Hawaiians, they treated me as if I was one of their own. And just for me, I carry that culture with me wherever I go, and yeah, if a guy needs a helping hand here or anything there, and I think just the passion that we play with back home too, I think you kind of see that in the way I would play too, and I think guys can rally around something like that when you see a guy selling out and practicing what he preaches, and to me in a locker room you can spot a phony a mile away, and that's not something I would ever want to be. There's times in my freshman year where, I had to go through some growing pains on and off the field. And, I feel like I had to go through that to just grow up, you know what I mean? And I feel like those lessons learned kind of helped us, get over that hump from my freshman year to accomplish what we did the following years.
Your presence actually ended up from we had Dylan Gabriel, of course, come in from Hawaii as well, and now we have Loka Paole on the offensive line. Hercule Latu transferred here from BYU. Can you just talk about how you about bringing a bit of Hawaii with you to UCF and how you feel like it's impacted this community?
Yeah, I know I was the first athlete from Hawaii to enroll at the school, and that's a huge honor for me to, just kind of break those barriers down for kids back home to get out here to Florida school. And to me, I want to put Hawaii on the map. And, guys I looked up to growing up, Manti Te'o, Marcus Mariota, they did that for me. And, if it wasn't for Mariota doing what he did, I probably wouldn't have got recruited by Scott Frost. So, I think guys setting the foundation, and then, guys continuing to do that kind of stuff just provides more opportunities for guys like myself back home. And, Dylan coming here, that was special for me because, he was a freshman when I was a senior in high school. And it's kind of funny. I got hurt my senior year and he came in and did really well his freshman year of high school. So it was kind of a similar thing. And, he's going to do his thing at Oklahoma. I don't fault him one bit for going elsewhere, but what he did here, he was a special player for us at UCF as well. Lokahi's doing really well. And yeah, just this Hawaii pipeline, I hope it continues to be a thing. And that's, why I want to stay, kind of in this involved in UCF as long as I can, because I want to keep getting guys out here from Hawaii because, this is a special brand of football that we play back home.
I was thinking back to the, when I think of you, I think of that off season between your freshman and your sophomore year. You made a leap that I've never seen a player at any level make. Not to say that you had a bad freshman year, but like you said, it was rough at times. Like, you had 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and then all of a sudden you go from 57%, and it bears out in the stats, right? You go from 57% to 67% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns to 37, and the team goes from 6-7 to 13-0 and a national championship claim. And I just remember watching every game that year and thinking at times, oh my God, like here's a good example of it. You've probably seen this YouTube video. Somebody put up a YouTube video of every 40-plus yard touchdown from UCF in 2017. And I remember watching every single one of these things, either live in person or on TV, and thinking, oh my God, this is too easy. How is this happening? And it was watching you play. You just looked like you were in a zone. How did you go from that freshman who was dealing with with that difficult transition to a master of the game in that following season? What happened? How did it happen?
I think just buying in the spring, helped me. And I don't know, we just had a special team. I had special guys around me. I had a lot of NFL guys around me too, which helps, you know what I mean? And Coach Frost, Coach Verduzco, Coach Walters, they put me in great situations. And, there wasn't a time where, I was out there and I felt uncomfortable. I stayed healthy the whole season, which helped a lot too. And, we were just clicking on all cylinders. Guys knew their jobs. We knew exactly what to do, and we just executed. Even my freshman year, it was tough, but, I knew I wasn't playing my best brand of football. I was a little banged up at times. Just kind of had to go through those growing pains as a freshman, and but to me, I'm just one cog in the wheel of success. And without, like I said, Coach Frost, Coach Verduzco, those guys put me in great situations, and having guys like Traquan, Gabe Davis, Dredrick Snelson, Jordan Akins, and all those little fast running backs, I'm not putting up those kind of numbers. And that's just the reality. And, I think you can kind of, see that in other years I played. You're only a product of the things around you. You know what I mean? You gotta have the right people supporting you, and you gotta have it's all gotta mesh. Because if it's like that, when it's like that, it can be great. And that's what it was in 2017 and 2018.
Chemistry. Team
Yes,
chemistry.
sir.
It's
Yes,
so
sir.
underrated, man, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, you've got a unique connection here because you played for Coach Frost, you played for Coach Heupel, and I believe you've met Coach Malzahn recently, and of course, obviously faced him in that Peach Bowl. So you have a connection to the last 3 UCF head coaches. Can you describe your experiences, meeting Gus and what you think he'll bring to the program? As you obviously have mentioned, you want to be around the program and help.
Yeah, so I mean, under Coach Frost, that's like a big brother / father figure to me. And I owe him everything. He gave me the opportunity to create a name for myself out here. And yeah, I still talk to him to this day, and that's family. And Coach Heupel, he came in, and I think the biggest thing for him, he helped me just be accountable to continuing to be a leader and continuing to progress my game. And that's another guy that's like a big brother slash father figure. And, I have great relationships with those guys and I love those guys. And, I'm grateful to have learned from both them. And, when and if I do get into coaching, I'm going to run what I ran with them, because in my mind, those are two of the best offensive minds in college football. Coach Malzahn, I've had the pleasure of talking to him and meeting him a few times now since the season has ended. And just a wonderful dude. Obviously, he's a great coach. I mean, the proof is in the pudding of what he's done in the past. But what I'm seeing from him is just like he's really in it. Like you can tell he loves being here, and you can see the kind of guys he's gonna bring in, the kind of recruits he's gonna bring in. I'm excited to see what they do, and in whatever way I can help out with the university, I'm gonna do that. I don't think it's gonna be from a coaching aspect at this point, because in all honesty, like I really don't want to. I want to play as long as I can, but as much as I can help these guys, if it's outside of football, NIL stuff, that's what I want to do. For me right now, I'm still in the mindset as a player, not so much a coach. But golly, I think this, and even Terry Mahajer, our AD, he's a great addition to UCF, and he has big visions as well. And we got the right people running the ship, and I'm super excited to see where this thing goes.
Well, you mentioned you're a player, and it was surreal to see you play on the field this year. And that Labor Day night, I think the moment of the year in college football, and you got on that field, an emotional night, led him to that touchdown against Notre Dame. It's going to be awesome to see you in the bounce house. What was it like to be back on the field this season? How did you feel when you were on the field? Did you ever at any moment during the year felt like 2017 or 2018 physically?
Yeah, physically I felt good. Truthfully don't like wearing the brace while I play. I'm gonna try to get to a point where I can play out of it. So I'm continuing to just work hard and rehab and strengthening everything in there. Once I get the green light from the doctor, I'm gonna do that. And I've already kind of started practicing without it, like all my drills and stuff like that. I'm not in it. The only time I was in it during the season was during games. So eventually I just want to just feel like a true athlete again in terms of not wearing any like bulky gear and stuff like that. In all honesty, no, I can't say I felt like it was 2017 or 2018, just because for a variety of reasons. And I really don't want to get into all that. I have my own kind of feelings about that stuff. And it just kind of is what it is. It was a blessing to get back out there. I loved the relationships I built at FSU and the guys I was around. To me, it was a great learning experience. And, just to me, I don't want excuses, for myself. I'm hungry, and that's why I'm training for the NFL, and I'm going to continue to bust my butt for that.
So you're aiming right now after the Hula Bowl is over. Your aim is I want to get to the NFL, get an invite to the combine, work out, do what I have to, and get picked. That's what's next for McKenzie Milton. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever happens, happens. I know there's a lot of things that aren't going to be in control. Whether it's passing physicals and stuff like that with team doctors. That's just kind of it's cutthroat in the NFL. I know how it is.
Yeah.
But I know what I can still do with a football in my hand when I'm put in the right situations, and I just and that's why I'm going to continue to do it. I feel like I owe it to myself. I didn't want to come back just to come back. Getting out there against Notre Dame was great. I still feel like we should have won that game if we might have called it a little different, but it just kind of is what it is. But nah, man, I'm excited. I'm training hard right now out in Orlando, working with Steve Calhoun as my quarterback coach, and we're getting things dialed away, cleaning up mechanics. I don't think I was super clean mechanically this year in terms of arm slot and footwork and stuff like that. So, I think it was great for me to get back out there to get my feet wet. In all honesty, it reminded me a lot of my freshman year, just with kind of how the team played, kind of how I played, and I missed some throws here, make some throws there, flashes here, flashes there, but it wasn't clicking how it should have been. And I think that stuff takes time. And I'm grateful to get back out there, but I'm not where I want to be yet, and I'm just going to continue to progress.
It was the time off, wasn't it? Because like I mean, we still saw like even in that Notre Dame game, like even going back and watching, especially those last couple of possessions in regulation, I felt like it was kind of a benefit for you to come off the bench rather than start, because it was all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're in now, right? It was like it's like what Daryl Green called your right now moment, and you did,
Yeah.
and I felt like you didn't have time to sort of think about it too much,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, bang, you're making throws, and I remember I was watching the game with my family, and I was like jumping out of my seat and like trying to fight back tears at the same time, because I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, he's back, you know? It's so how is it, you know, when you look back on that and like where you are right now, do you still feel like there's a long road ahead and you're still and there's something, you know, you're paving new ground for yourself, or is like, okay, I've been down this road before, I know I can get back to where I was?
Nah, I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm far off at all. In all honesty, I feel like there's a lot of external, you know, factors going on this year up at FSU that, you know, like I said, I'm not really going to get into all that, but you know, I was grateful for my time there, but I don't think I'm far off at all in terms of being able to play at a high level. You know, I see all these quarterbacks coming out this year, and I don't see them doing anything that I can't do, and
Neither
that's
do
just
we, to
all
be honest
honesty.
with you.
Yeah, and that's just all honesty. You know, I see Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ritter. I played against both those guys, and you know, we all know how, you know, those games went. And you know, I watch a lot of college football, and you know, I watch all these guys that are projected to go first round, and you know, it gets me excited while I'm training. It makes me very excited.
Well, let me ask you, this is my last question. You're going to be playing in the bounce house one more
Yeah.
time, which is an amazing story considering your story. What's going to go through your mind when you get into that stadium and get on that field?
I'm sure it'll be a little emotional, but I'm just gonna let it rip and have fun. You know, just like I always do. You know, I'll be playing with Cole Snyder and hopefully Big Cat's on our team too, and I'll be playing with a couple of my FSU guys too. So I'm just gonna have fun out there. Do my best to put on a show for the scouts, put on a show for the fans, and we got a thick playbook, so I need to study that.
I'm gonna say, man, it's an all-star game. Like they can't throw too much at you, can they?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, but no, I'm excited. Excited to get around, you know, guys from other schools and just, you know, just have fun out there. Just have fun.
You know, you talked about how even though you're going to be continuing your playing career or going for that, you talked about how you still obviously be willing to help everybody when it comes to name, image, and likeness stuff. And of course, you've been involved with Dreamfield. How has that been with NIL now really becoming as big as it has become? And I noticed that you're going to be hosting that mission comeback thing at Burger U with Isaiah Bowser, Alex Ward, Sam Jackson. Like what's it been like working with them and taking this, I guess, mentor or at least a helping hand role in this new developing space in college athletics?
Yeah, it's been really cool. You know, honestly, like, you know, the injury was tough, but you know, being a college athlete in this day and age, this last year with NIL and stuff, and just being on the forefront of that, and just having a intricate part in that has been a blessing in itself. So, you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and then, you know, I come back here after finishing up at FSU and just being able to help these guys. And to me, like you said earlier, Jeff, it's a real community out here with the UCF, and you know, I think that's something we kind of a direction we want to go with this NIL deal. Get everybody that loves UCF, like we love UCF, to be engaged with these athletes in one way or another. And it doesn't got to be just catered to football. It could be women's volleyball, women's soccer, basketball, and stuff like that. So we got big plans ahead. And, you know, I think in the near future, we're going to have some cool things rolling out here involved with Dreamfield and really a lot of the student athletes at UCF, and just creating buzz, because I feel like, you know, we have 60,000 plus people going to our school, and, you know, we're having a bunch of new fresh alumni that are excited about what's going on. And, when you graduate, it's like, man, you still want to be a part of it, right? And that's how I am, because I love UCF, and I feel like that's how a lot of the alumni base is too. So that's what I feel like it's all about. When it's 10 Hana, one Ohana is one family, and it's not just catered to football. It's catered to the whole night community and anybody that touches, really.
That makes me so happy too, and I know it makes Eric and Bryson too, because I mean, that we have spent, since I was a student and since Eric was a student, we also, have been tooting the horn of it's not just football and men's basketball. There's a lot of great sports here, just like we see in like every other university. You caught a glimpse of it at FSU, how seriously that they take not just football and men's basketball, but everything.
Yeah.
And that's something that we have to keep pushing here at UCF, right?
I absolutely, and I think the sky's the limit. Not even the limit for UCF, because we're a space school, so that's definitely not the limit. And I truly do believe that UCF has the potential, and honestly will be the top school in Florida in the near future in all aspects. It's a special place, very special place.
Well, we were blessed to have you here when we did, and we're thankful for all the great moments that you've given us, and you still have yet to give us, not just in the Hula Bowl coming up a week from Saturday, but in the future. If it's in the NFL, if it's in the USFL, which is coming online too, which I know you probably have one eye on as well, just in case. There's a lot of opportunities that are out there, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And to see you also, dive into business as you have, And what was your major? I forget what your major was.
Sports and exercise science.
Okay. And then did you get your master's at FSU as well?
I got a master's certificate in coaching up there.
Okay.
And I'll be finishing up my master's this spring, actually, here at UCF.
Okay, good. Well, in advance, congratulations for that. But I know that,
Thank you.
You said earlier, coaching's not. Everyone on Twitter, after you see it, everyone's like, "Oh, Coach KZ, he's gonna come out," and you're like, "Hold up, not yet. I'm not done yet, right?"
Yeah, not yet. I don't know when. I think eventually, yes, but right now, just I gotta still exhaust playing, man.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, man. It's I never got the chance to play. Eric never got the chance to play. Bryson never got, but we always say, like, if we were in those shoes, we'd be like, you'll have to drag us off the field. Like, we're gonna exhaust every opportunity to, and whatever it is that you have coming in your future, we know you're going to be successful at it because you've shown it before for us, and we as fans are thankful for that. So before we let you go, McKenzie, just give us the sales pitch on what's going on this week, what events you have planned, and how fans can follow you and see what's going on.
Yeah, this Sunday, 6 o'clock at Burger U. We're going to be honoring all these super seniors that are coming out. It's just a little meet and greet, you know what I mean? Get some good food, burgers, wings, whatever you want from Burger U, and just come hang out with some of the guys and myself. And, we're excited. We're excited that, these guys that help build this culture are staying around for one more year and really hopefully going to lead us to another conference championship, because I feel like that's the potential that this team has after, seeing what they did to Florida and seeing the new pieces that are coming in. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the future.
All right, and then a week of practice, and then the Hula Bowl on Saturday the 15th. What time is kickoff for the game?
Noon, baby. Noon kick.
Noon, baby.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. McKenzie Milton, the great. It's easy to say this. The great McKenzie Milton, joining us on the Black and Gold Banneret podcast. KZ, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything that you've given to us as fans, and best of luck. We'll see you on the field in the bounce house in a little bit more than a week, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.